Okay, welcome back. It is Friday afternoon, the 18th of May, 2012. And I'm turning this ship back around to return to the waters of the Resistance. This video has been cooking in me for a long time, and I have been quite hesitant about this one. It is something that my divine nature just will not let me alone about. That side is constantly goading me, put this out. It's important. Put it out now, regardless of what the naysayers might think of it. Screw the naysayers. They waste our time and our energy with their tripe as to why this, that, and the other proposal won't work. Time is short, and we must attempt the inconceivable now, because it is the inconceivable that is exactly what they have no defense against. First, I want to revisit the solid-state common sense findings of classical Newtonian physics. At the core, Newtonian mechanics tells us that matter is inviolate and self-contained within fixed boundaries. In other words, things exist independently of each other. And our senses on a daily basis would seem to back up these observations. Wouldn't you agree? Furthermore, to have influence on matter, according to Newtonian mechanics, requires something physical to be done to something else via a force or a collision. So changing something in the physical world requires that we heat it, or freeze it, or burn it, or drop it, or just give it a swift kick upside the head. Push-pull mechanics, okay? Overcoming inertia with energy strong enough to momentarily cancel inertia. Life carries on regardless of what we might think about it. Now, all the above was forever called into question by the physicists Niels Bohr and Werner Heisenberg and their famous Copenhagen interpretation. Prior to Bohr and Heisenberg, the view of the atomic world of matter was that matter was like a tiny solar system of billiard balls when pared down to its smallest level. What Bohr and Heisenberg discovered was that, contrary to the solar system model of atomic structure, matter on the subatomic level was much more like little clouds of probability. That subatomic particles are not even solid and stable, but more like a potential of any one of its future selves, which is called superposition, or the sum of all probabilities. The takeaway from this is that at the most elemental level, physical matter isn't even solid or stable. It isn't anything yet. These clouds of probability only dissolve into something solid and stable and measurable when we add an observer to the equation. So what they are saying is that the moment we attempt to look at or measure something, our active observation helps to determine the final state of what is being observed. It was also discovered that at the subatomic level, particles seem to have an eerie collusion with each other. That particles can influence each other in all absence of all the usual things physicists understand as being responsible for influence, such as exchanges of force at finite velocities. Once particles are in contact, they retain this eerie remote hold over each other, regardless of distances or separation. This is called non-locality. The takeaway now is that reality is very much mutable and open to influence beyond what Newtonian mechanics would define as influence. Now, since Bohr and Heisenberg electrified the physics world with their discoveries, a group of physicists has been asking this question: if attention can affect physical matter, can intention make deliberate changes in the world around us? Intention is defined as a purposeful plan to perform an action leading to a desired outcome. Okay, I've just laid the groundwork that differentiates quantum physics from classic physics. I want to strongly caution those who consider themselves firmly grounded in reality. Quantum physics isn't just a bunch of crazy speculation about stuff that doesn't matter. Quantum theory gave us laser technology and nuclear weapons systems. It is real, and it more accurately describes the world around us than the old worldview does. It has opened the door to the reality of the divinity which indwells all of us. What is it that your good book says? Christ makes the bold-faced claim that the things he did, we can all do. Why? Because we are all sons and daughters of God. The new physics has demonstrated beyond all doubt now that the energy of thought actually alters and shapes the physical world around us. Now the question is, how do we use this effectively? First, everything I'm about to reveal now comes from my reading and meditating upon the protocols outlined in this book, The Intention Experiment by Lynne McTaggart. She has investigated the scientific inquiry into the phenomenon of human intention extensively, interviewed all the big-name players in the scientific world conducting this cutting-edge research, and she has fully explained the protocol that has come out of all this research, which shows us how to use intention with a higher probability of success. A method of using this in our daily lives that does, in fact, alter the world around us. And of course, it has taken a soldier looking at this to see the potential of using this as a defensive, offensive weapon for self-defense. Riddle me this. How do you defend against the energy of thought? Let me give you the once-over-the-world takeaways of what seem to be the facts of this matter and how to use it. 1. Consciousness seems to be a substance outside the confines of our bodies, a highly ordered energy which has the capacity to change physical matter. 2. The act of targeting your thoughts, what scientists call intention or intentionality, appears to produce an energy potent enough to change physical reality. 3. That to influence physical matter, thought must be highly motivated and targeted. What does this mean? It means that the thought form must be very clear-cut and unambiguous. You might have heard about how science has proven that mass prayer doesn't work. What they haven't told you is that the prayer affirmations which all these experiments were using were all very ambiguous, unfocused, and unclear in both statement and intent. So the statement of intention must leave no room for personal interpretation. It must be so clear-cut that there is no doubt at all on the part of the participants as to what the intention means. 4. The power of focused intention multiplies and becomes more powerful depending upon how many minds are thinking the same thing at the same time. So the more people you have, the more brains you have conducting this activity at the same time, the more powerful the focused thought energy becomes. Distance and separation between participants do not matter. I say again, distance between participants doesn't matter, but timing does. Separation and distance are irrelevant, and they are just the principle of non-locality manifesting itself. 5. The power of the mass intention to alter reality is magnified on days when the Earth's geomagnetic field is in an uproar. In other words, we need to time the launching of an intention when the Earth's geomagnetic field is not calm, but rather when it is experiencing a storm state or disruption. This seems to act like a signal amplifier. And 6, here's the kicker. Negative thoughts or destructive thought forms might be much more potent than their effects on the physical world than a positive thought is. Okay, let me clarify that. The negative thought may hold more power than the positive one. Here's the key quote from the book. Blasban's little study highlights perhaps the most disturbing consideration of all about intention, that bad thoughts as well as good ones can have an effect on the world, and indeed may be the more powerful of the two. The quote comes from page 146. So mind changes reality at a distance with no physical contact being necessary. The power of intentions to change a target situation becomes more powerful with the more minds being involved and focused on the same goal in the same time. The power of intention spikes during periods of geomagnetic chaos, and the power of a dark thought may hold more juice than a positive one does. Okay, I am appealing to the people I know are out there and understand the power in what I have just revealed and proposed. If you don't believe in the power of intention and thought, great! Go take your troll self to some other corner of the internet, because I will not entertain nor respond to your asinine taunts. Likewise, if you are one of these oh so holy New Age creatures which cannot suffer the thought of tarnishing your precious auras with anything like a negative intention, go join the trolls. You will sit there on the sidelines while 7 billion people are being slaughtered by the New World Order, and you won't act in opposition at all, because to oppose is to be negative, and it might incur a karmic debt. Are you kidding me? Please just continue fluffing your aura. I don't need you. I need bold action takers. People who aren't afraid to scuff up their auras in the cause of destroying the New World Order designs to eradicate 90% of us. That's the stakes here. So here's the action plan. Contact me by email, and here is my email address. Next, we need a very clear-cut, unambiguous affirmation of what we are attempting to bring about, such as a statement which describes an end state where all the enforcers of the New World Order are quitting and refusing to carry out the designs of the hidden rulers. Third, we need to identify all the upcoming periods of geomagnetic chaos in the Earth's magnetic field. Fourth, we need brains, lots of them, to focus at the same time all over the Earth to launch the agreed upon intention. You all want a potent weapon which can be used in a passive resistance. Well, this is it. If you agree with this proposal, get the word out now. Share this and post it far and wide. The time is short, and that's all I've got out here.